That
All right, so I've started the recording. So Emanuela, I would like to start with any questions that you have, and then I'll go over just like an overview of some of the requirements, and then maybe we could even do some hands-on stuff. If you want, we could try to find your instructional site and
that
link
would be
it to your
fantastic.
homepage.
Oh gosh, I would appreciate that. Would you
Yeah,
like to do a screen share?
yes, please do.
Okay, so I will do a screen share, and I have all those crazy windows open at this point. Let me just figure out which one will be the one.
You are also the queen of tabs, huh?
Oh gosh, I'm not so sure which one can you see actually.
Yes, I can see your sandbox.
Okay, um, so let me just close some of those, or at least put them down. You know what? Right off the bat, I'm so grateful for this meeting. So I do have a couple of questions. Just to clarify, if I go to dashboard, can you see my dashboard now?
No, right now I see your Art 130A basic drawing page.
Okay. So I would like to go very fast over it to make sure that I'm on the good track, actually, because I told you that I start to work with it.
Okay.
And so basically what I started to do was to put a course description, to put a video for them, because so I'm teaching a drawing class, and I'm totally aware that the format of a drawing class, it's a little bit different than a lecture class. And I was listening when you were talking, or Frederick was talking, and there was an element of, at the end of those 5 weeks, we should have 25% of the class completed. Now, for this class, I have 5 segments. So one module, basically, under one module, because think that it's a drawing. So you start from lines. And when you talk about lines, are different type of lines, right? And under this module, they have different type of lines and different assignments. And that's a month and a half from the semester, basically, or more or less. But before this, we have a module on which I will show you from another school, because it will be a little bit easier.
Yeah, sure. Let me lower that camera.
Let me just stop the share on this one and do the share on, I think that is this one. Right. So if I go to those modules, just to give you a sense, so of course they have the orientation module, but then the first module which they have to have are some, so I'll just go very fast, are some information in the materials itself, actually, because some of them don't have, so this is part of the, just to give you a sense of how it's gonna look like. So it's the description of the materials, because some of those kids don't have any idea. And before that will also be a module on which they would have a PowerPoint on materials and description of materials, because I put myself on their shoes. Art materials are expensive. So I created this PowerPoint on which I explain them what and how, and give them alternatives. So that will be basically module 01 or 1 for them. And they can check it out before purchasing any materials.
Oh, that's nice.
And they can assess if they have the money for a better material, here it is. If they don't, here are some options, or eventually some alternatives for a particular material. Because I wrote also on my syllabus, I don't want them to stop doing something because they say, I don't have money for pencils, which is a valid statement.
It is, yes.
I do that face to face. So here are some videos for them in terms of, unlike other classes, which are structured, module 1, that's the lecture, that's what we're gonna do. For the first week, for example, on module 1, they would have to watch those videos on how to prep their materials, how to buy their materials, how to arrange their materials, which are things that would be doing in a class, basically. So just to let you know about the structure. So those are all those demos in terms of how to prep, how to buy, how to prep, how to hold.
That is wonderful. Can you show me in the modules where this page exists?
So you know what, I will show you on a previous, so I'm teaching like yourself, I'm teaching at several schools. I already taught this one in so that's how it's going to look, will be the orientation model. Then week 1 will be drawing, dry media, pencil techniques. And they were going to have an overview of the technique itself. what they will learn, what they will do. And then they were going to have a study resources in the dry medium, an introduction of what we're going to do, you know, what drawing is, which are the main components, what dry media is, because some of them don't know.
Right.
You do pencil, but you have no idea. And on the SLOs, they refer to dry and wet medium.
Oh, that's
I
good.
need to explain those guys what's happening. And then to explain that we're going to do, for example, a dry medium, just pencil. And what
And you know, you mentioned the SLOs. Is this the overview page?
this is not the overview.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Uh,
because the overview page would be the one that has the, you know, these are the SLOs for this. So SLOs are interesting because we have our course level SLOs. Normally those are between 3 and 5, I think. But then we also have learning objectives that are unit or module or
Correct.
weekly learning objectives. And
They
those
do
are
have them within the assignments.
with it. Okay. So your overview page, if you click on that overview page, is it all, because you can have them also, I have them all over the place, but the overview page is the main place where the reviewer, and it might be me, it might not be me. It's what you will learn. Okay, describe, develop, and identify. So normally here, what you will learn for your reviewers, like first we design for students, then for us, and then for reviewers.
Yeah.
Most reviewers know that what you will learn are the learning objectives. But
Correct.
here, describe is great. Instead of developing the following skills, you could say develop the following skills.
Okay.
And just to get rid of the ing, which is what the gerund, I have to remember my English. Identify, those are perfect. You've kept it to 3. You have a weekly modules, is that correct?
Yes.
Weekly module, so that's perfect. 3, and these are learning objectives that will produce measurable assessment outcomes later on, because we kind of loop them. So it looks like you're telling them what they will learn, then you're giving them the content so that they can study that, digest that, and then you're going to provide assessments. I see you have a discussion, and
Yeah.
you have assignment, building contour and outline. So that's where they're having that, they're producing, they are demonstrating that they've learned something, they're demonstrating their skills.
So that's how the
That's really
assignment
great.
looks like usually. So they have the assignment, they have the, you know, if it's a part or 2 parts, because some assignments are harder, so they will require longer periods of time.
Yeah.
And they have the goal of the assignment, they have the subject of the assignment, objective, the materials, the time, how much time will look, the method, you know, what they have to do, and then the step-by-step sort.
May I ask, is this outline here, this list, did you use the rich content editor for that list?
You know what, I did, but because I'm teaching at other school, their Canvas and their editor tools are a little bit different. So, but so here are the tips, what they have to do, what they have, and here are some previous examples so they know how they should look like.
Oh, these are great. So you do have images. And so in terms of accessibility, if you can click on the edit button,
Sure.
and we can spot check certain things that we will have to do for other work. And I do this all the time. And sadly, in my courses, I'm always finding something.
I see
Yes.
something.
So
Yeah.
you'll see here where you have that change alt text there.
Yeah.
Normally, something's not accessible if it still has the file extension JPEG. And
Gotcha.
so here, if contour drawing is it, then that's good. Here, format as list, you got it. Format as list, there you go. And so these are things that I do all the time still. But because your description of your files, like here, screenshot, that doesn't really tell us what it is. So you would give a brief description. What's that? Light bulb, atomizer, and kettle. I'm not sure what it is. Still life, okay. And so here, outline, example outline. If you just say example 1, a visually impaired student won't know what that is.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
makes
and
sense.
so photo here, so we usually don't use photo, image, or anything like that. We would describe the still life of pineapple in shadow or whatever it is.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know.
So it's almost like pretend that you have me blindfolded for a game. and that you have something on the screen and you're describing it to me because I can't really see it. And so that's the way, I mean, that's the best way I can figure it out. For a lot of visually impaired students, they will have a screen reader that tells them and reads whatever you put in there. So if you put a picture of, then it might not say it. So photo, still life doesn't really tell me. But if you say still life plant in window, because you can remove photo. The thing about the screen reader is it already reads image, photo, still life plant window. So the photo already indicates that it's going to be an image. And then for your outline above there,
I have a quick question. When do you click on decorative image?
I will tell you I never use it. I never use decorative image because even if it's a red ribbon squiggle that I put across on my page, I selected that for a reason. There's a reason I selected red ribbon. So even if it's meant to be just something to break up my page of long text, I will just put in red ribbon. So that, a student who can see it can see that it's a red ribbon, helps as much as a student who can't see it. So I never use decorative as a rule. Some folks do. Some reviewers are sticklers about no decorative images. Others are like, that was just a flourish. That was just a flower to break up this, it has no significance in terms of content. But to me, I don't know if it's just OCD, but I'm just like, you know what? Because there's that fine line between what is significant content and what is a flourish, I just describe everything that I put in. And it just makes it easier for me to check everything later on.
Because I have been told that I have to be very careful with how much information I put. I shouldn't put more than 9 words.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So, for
7 words.
example, you know how there are infographics that
Yeah.
will show maybe the process to create an oil painting, or
Yeah.
set up, so that the infographic will show the process. It wouldn't mean that it's a long description. So you would just, all text would say oil painting setup process, which is less than 9 words. But
Mhm.
underneath that, you would list out step 1, step 2, step 3, which the infographic shows, but a visually impaired student would not be able to see. And I mean, a lot of art, we think, well, blind students wouldn't necessarily take this class, but they could be blind at different levels. So they could be like me. I'm slowly losing my eyesight. But it
Oh,
doesn't mean that I don't remember what red and pink looks like and the differences between them.
yes.
So that if, I'm using Photoshop or something else, I could still incorporate those as long as somebody tells me, either screen telling me you're selecting pink from the palette or red from the color palette, then I could still create something. I could still write up something if I know what it is that is being exhibited, right?
I never thought about that. You are right.
Yeah.
So I will do a screen share to show you what I started to do for this class.
All right. Sounds
And
good.
because I'm still slightly, I'm gonna, once again, thank you so much. Thank you guys. So here I have my dashboard for the City College. And here I assume that here it's where we go to see the assignment and to follow the quizzes and whatever material we have to do for the class itself. I assume that this is my box where I started to play with. And is this the box that I have to connect it here?
Yes. So why don't we do this? Click on that one.
Okay.
All
And then
right.
do I
Click.
copy this
Yep.
link?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say that I will go back here
Mm-hmm.
and I will go here
Uh-huh.
and I will go under edit, I assume.
Uh-huh. And then one of the little rules I have for myself is when I click edit, I immediately click on the design tools. Yours opens automatically, I think,
I
which is excellent.
need them to have them automatically.
Yes.
I'm
And
not
then
so familiar with those, actually.
yeah, so scroll down a little bit because this is protecting your template. It's very easy. I have a heavy hand, so it's very easy for me to accidentally delete something. And so this will protect it. Let's see, scroll down a little bit in there. within, or you can
No, it
grab.
never lets me, this one it's on, that's the
Mhm.
problem. So
That's okay. So let's
scroll here.
see. So where is it? Oh, there. So here, you see where it says instructional site in
Oh, I see.
bold? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go. And so now you can delete everything else. This, what's great about it is that it will, and actually highlight and hyperlink the other instructional site so we can get rid of the pink. The blue link.
Oh, right. I
Yeah,
see what you're saying.
it's a question of color contrast. Okay, let's see there. Oh no, it's going to a course link. So although it is a your course, it's not, it's considered external.
External, let's try like this.
And so there you go. There you go. And then, you know, some folks, they write after instructional link, they write something like, check out internship
Oh,
possibilities, or check out the other courses I teach, or, you know, whatever it is to just call attention to the fact that they can find personalized resources from you in that instructional site. Because when we click there, you'll notice that right now it's a template, right? But within this, you can go ahead and personalize that your image there. You can leave the all are welcome if you want, but you would read through all of this and you would edit this so it reflects, like you have down here, your own information. In
and
terms of the courses, because you teach at other colleges, you can go ahead and have something that says, like for me, what I teach at Merritt, what I teach at Contra Costa, what I teach at Marin, what I teach at City College of San Francisco. And then that way, within that, because in the students in the Bay Area, they really can take classes anywhere, right? So that way they can figure out, oh, City College doesn't teach the female form,
yeah.
but Merritt does. Well, maybe I'm going to take this class because I love my professor at Merritt. And so that can help. Like I noticed that SF MoMA has internship possibilities, and some of for the summer, and some of them are paid internships. So that would be a great place to say, have a little thing that says internships and then list any information there so that students can say, you know, I think I want to get my hands dirty, get into industry and see what that's like. So anything you can share, this is your page, really
Okay.
is. And it is linked to the schedule of classes. So you know how students go in and they can click on your name to see more information? Well, when they click on your name, it also comes with the instructional link, and it's to this page here. And so it's just a great place for you to be able to share with them if they're conferences, you know, anything that you're into, if you have an exhibit, you know, you
Oh,
want,
yeah.
you, so you can go ahead and say, hey, check out my exhibit in Oakland or whatever it is.
Actually, I do have one.
You
So
do see, I
yes,
also have ESP. I am a clarividente, we call it in Spanish, you know.
we gotta talk. A, I need someone. Speak with me in Spanish, please. A, it's a beautiful language, and B, I need to learn. Yo necesito aprender español.
Oh, hablas
Yo
muy
lo
bien
sabe.
ya.
Por favor, Mónica, ayúdame.
Encantada.
So I do.
Yes. So this is really, I mean, this is a gem that we've been given. I can't even express how frustrating it was at the beginning of using Canvas, where the administrators were like hoarding Canvas. They were not letting anybody use it unless they felt that they had training already and that they were going to use it for a good reason or whatever. So like non-credit folks, none of them had Canvas shells. None of them, not until the pandemic.
I
And then,
remember.
yeah, so they were very stingy with the shells. And but so now you have this, and it's so much easier, I think, than creating a Google site or some other website.
I hear you. And speaking of Google Slides and what I'm teaching also, so I do have 3 more questions. And because I'm so aware, you already talk. You need a break. You need to run away. If you need to be kidnapped, blink twice.
You're so sweet.
And I taught 10 classes in the spring semester, so I'm brain dead. 10 classes, man, because part-timer job.
Uh-huh.
But I do have a quick question. So I have this page and I'm going to make it pretty and whatever. So the first question is if I don't know if you can still see it. Can you still see
Yeah, I
this?
can see it, yes.
So this is from my sandbox for the class, right? So here I have all this information, the class. On the course description, do I need to put the catalog description or a much more humane description?
Humane.
Okay,
This is the landing spot for all your students.
perfect.
So here you want to draw them in. So it sounds like you're being very good at giving them sort of something that draws students into this. Now the official, description from the course outline of record, that will go in the syllabus.
On the syllabus,
And
that's what.
and there's a space for that. And are you using the templates? Do you plan on using the templates within that are given in the modules?
You know, I do actually,
Okay.
because they're really nicely done and it saves me a lot of time.
It does have so much time, and you can always jazz them up. Like I get tired of the blue, although I love teal, which is a theme. But I decided I was going to use purple. So
You
for
know,
the new course I created, I just changed all the template colors and the banners and all of that to purple. And so just because I get tired of the same thing also, but it really helps because then it's a plug and play. And like places, if you had a page with a lot of content, you can use accordions very easily to be able to have that sort of content open up for students as they go through. For the IOTL course, the training, the 5 weeks, there are assignments that, like, for example, the welcome letter, the course policies, and all of those, you will give us a link where we jump into your course and we see them there. So that's sort of easy. I think that you won't have any problem with any of that. But then there are other things later on when you give us your what we call the one content review. It's a link to your sandbox. And within that, what we're looking for are a couple of elements. We're looking for an equitable welcome letter and an announcement. We're looking for the home page here. Everything is with accessibility. For everything, we're always checking accessibility. Then we're going to take a look at your orientation module. If you go to your modules right now and click on the Get Started orientation, so we go through each one of these to make sure that they have been updated. Most of it you don't need to update. Here you already have 6 hours. So for your course, is it a 3-unit course?
It's a 6-unit, but I am aware that, you know what, I could write 9 hours because I know that for 6 unit they need 9. But I have a quick question, and here is pure psychology.
Okay.
I am aware that whoever takes a drawing class, especially a beginning class, they will never, if you tell them 9 hours, they will drop it.
They will freak out, right?
They'll
Because
freak
they
out.
think it's an easy class.
Yeah.
One of the things you can do is put 6 to 9 hours.
Okay.
And what that does is, like, the students who are quick, well, and already might have just, even if it's novice or their own experience, will go through quickly, and it's just a nice little booster, ego booster for them. But for the students who are like me, I have to read things like 3 times, and I'm slower. I'm slower in setup. I'm slower in doing almost everything. So that for me, I don't feel so bad because I can see that the range is to 9. And so I'm like, oh, well, I'm dedicating about 9. So I'm good. I'm good. I feel like I'm within the range. But if you have slow students like me and it says 6 hours and we're taking 10 hours, we might just start to, our self-esteem gets kind of squashed. And so, like, for me, I didn't even realize I was dyslexic until well after graduate school. And I keep thinking if I'd known that, I would have sought out help or techniques or something and not just felt like an imposter all those years. I love it. It's very friendly, and I think that it gives them agency as well. So this is nice. It's a nice touch.
Perfect. Because I took classes online and I was like 15 hours. I'm working 10 classes. I'm teaching 10 classes at 3 schools. I'm commuting. I will never have the time to do this.
Yes.
So I realized that some assignments were faster, and it's the same with this class. For some assignments, even people who are a little bit slower, because they're just mark making, they can do it in 20 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
Some
Yeah, and
assignments,
it's going to be
even
really
of my
great for them.
class,
Yeah, to see
they
that.
can do it.
That they can do it quickly.
Yeah, so I adjusted the schedule and it's it's pre-traditional, pre-conventional. Then I put the meet your instructor. So I put a photo,
Mm-hmm.
I put a small
Nice.
bio,
Mm-hmm.
I put a video of me drawing. So
Very humanized. This
it's
is
easy for
great.
them. I put how you can contact me.
Here with your website, all you have to do is give it a description. So your website, if that's your personal website, Emma, is it
Mhm.
your? So then all you have to do is hyperlink that. And it's pretty simple. All you do is you click once within the bare link.
Let me just
So
say that.
let's see.
Okay,
So
so
once,
uh,
where it's, and then it should say link options.
okay.
And then there you just give it in the text part. You can
Oh,
say personal, website or uh, explore my personal website or my creations or, yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 I love that. Yeah, so that's really great because you're inviting them in, and so then they know. And a screen reader for a visually impaired student would read it like that. Personal website, if you'd like, right? And so that's nice. Hmm. Yeah,
and
and then
then
yeah, this
uh,
means you can, well, no, you can leave website if you want. So this is great. You are using the Canvas inbox, which is awesome. Um, and the reason for not, oh, you can't use Canvas inbox. Let me see what. Oh, no, no, emailing of assignments. I gotcha.
yeah.
That's my exact same policy. I'm like, I will not accept anything through the Canvas inbox
So I
or
try to explain
Outlook.
why, because Canvas inbox and grading book are not connected. So will be a zero on their grading book.
That's excellent. I also have a line like that. I tell them I can't accept anything unless it's uploaded and submitted through the proper assignment,
And
Dropbox.
I put them how I'll contact them.
Uh-huh.
But on my homepage, I also have the grading time so they can see how long it's going to take and all those things.
All right, there you have the Canvas guides also. So you can just hyperlink that. So instead of it saying HTTP Canvas guides, whatever it says, it can say just Canvas guides,
Okay.
and then that's it. And then you're using the navigation tool at the bottom. I think that really helps students.
So here is for them, and
Mhm,
I didn't have to adjust too much, which was nice.
mhm.
And
Nice.
that's for them again.
Mhm, mhm.
And here I started to do the course policies, what they
Uh-huh.
will do.
Mhm, mhm,
And I will write also what will I do to
mhm.
participate in class and all those. So I need to work a little bit more. The
Okay.
attendance, the flexibility, the guidelines, how much they should plan to set aside, what they have to do every week,
No, that's great.
participate in discussion, the drop policy, instruction drop and student drop.
Mhm. Is that
Because
student drop a link? If they click on if at any moment, does it go somewhere?
no, it's just I have to de-emphasize it. It's not a link.
Oh, all right. So the recommendation, because of links, the screen readers also read underlining as if it were a link.
Oh, okay.
And so the recommendation is to not use all caps or underlining, but instead you can use bold and a highlight
Okay.
or italics, because a screen reader will read, italicized or emphasized or something like that, and remove the link. Yeah, there you go. And so it does give that pop that you need. Um,
So then they have what they have to do if they fell behind,
yes,
academic
that's great.
integrity, what to do and not to do. They have here a link to the Massachusetts book, and then I will have the grading. So I
Right.
still work a little bit on this one.
That is great. And I was wondering about that AI because I've used one of those AI, I forget what it's called, for art, because I'm
I
trying
do
to
have, I would add
policy.
in terms of plagiarism, what it means for art, in terms of
Yeah,
getting from other people. So I will put them all here and they will also be on the syllabus.
that's good. Because I have to do it for writing because they have essays, and last semester I did find one. and we used Turnitin for the writing and the essays, and it said AI created. And
Yeah,
so it called out the student. It pretty much told me this student used AI to create this. And so for art as well, because you know they could use AI to create art. Um,
if you'd like to, I could share very fast with you. So I'll stop this one and I'll share which I already haven't done. So I'll just, so here it's academic integrity, advice, and the advice is, starting to come to class, I will have to adjust it because this was for a face-to-face. Ask question, do not, and then I have plagiarize, cheat, participate in, fabricate, distribute, and copyright materials.
Nice.
And they have explanation for plagiarize in art, for cheating in art.
Yes, you're teaching them. You know, it really is something that we need to say.
For the use of copyright in art and all those, specific to visual arts, because, but I do have a quick, one of my biggest confusions, actually, it's about, no, it's the same. Sorry for that. It's about videos.
Okay.
So the majority of the videos I have, I made them.
Okay, great.
I just put by Emanuela Harrison Tamorian and the year. But when I deal with, let's say, I'll do the screen share here. Let's say that when I do, I have a quick question. Is it okay that I adjusted the discussion? So you guys were so kind to already create a discussion for us on the module 0, the orientation. But I adjusted a little bit because I wanted them to already get a little bit more visual. So I do want from them the name and a little bit of their background, family, travel, academic. But then they have, so I have some requirements because I don't want them to write 50 million pages. And I need to remind them that this is a personal, it's a public forum. I had students who share about abortions and
yes, I mean, no, this is good.
And I was like, some of them share legal issues, and I had to ask them to erase them because I don't know who's in the class. I don't know what political views they have. And you don't want to get yourself deported because some small-minded decided that you got to go home.
Right, absolutely. No, so it's important to do that. I've had to tell them, like in this forum, it's for you guys to discuss anything you want to discuss. Please keep that PG-13.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes they do discuss things that are, I had to tell one student that those sorts of jokes were not appropriate for an academic setting because he likes sharing dirty jokes. And I didn't understand why, why he was doing that.
They do, because it's, it's the power behind the screen.
The screen, yes.
So if they were in the same classroom, probably they wouldn't have done it because they would be ostracized immediately.
Yes, you're right.
It is the demented power that we have, that we think that we have, because we are not seen. So it's that Wizard of Oz on steroids, basically, which is mental. I'm afraid sometimes because they do have access to uploading photos. And let me tell you, when they take sometimes photos of their artwork, that's why I do have on my orientation some chapters which I would have to add them to this one, or some pages, how to take the photos, because I saw photos of bedrooms.
Yes.
They take the photo of the drawing, they put it on the bed, they take it, and next to them are other objects which I don't need to see it, or their topics in the discussion. We don't need to know about your adventurous life.
No, we don't. I always, to me, because I always ask my students for a head and shoulder shot. So this is basically what you see in a video. And I'm always amazed to see how many sort of explicit self-portraits or self-photographs they send. And like, I'm not sure why you're sending a photograph where I see a lot of cleavage, or, I'm not sure why you decided to send me your whole body image. I don't need that. I only need really like what would be in a driver's license.
I don't know. Sometimes we prefer the anime, which they posted instead of their faces, rather than to see more of them than I really want to see.
That's true. That's
true.
true.
Like, if I want to see more flash, more skin, I will do research on my own.
Yes, because it's probably there. That's true.
Yeah, it is there. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry, it's easy to find.
So I
That
adjusted
is
a
true.
little bit because that's my discussion with them. And I
Yeah.
asked them as part of the first discussion to write a little bit about themselves,
Mhm.
but then to take three objects, photos of
Wow.
three objects, and to describe them. And those objects are important to them. They can be from a photo of a friend, from a drawing, from their camera. Some of them love to take photos. And here is the example that you guys gave in terms of student introduction. And
Mhm.
this is from a real student. So I
Oh,
took a
that's nice.
name
Yeah, yeah. That's
and
great.
I took out the name and I took out the photo because of the privacy.
Right.
So because it's
And
not
then you've got the peer reply, and these are to at least two. Now, because you have the at least two, how
I
big are your classes? 45 students?
no, they are 24.
24. Oh, might be okay because you might like for this one, it's good for everybody to get to meet everyone. But later on, if you have a lot of discussions, you might decide to make two groups
Yeah.
so that it's not so much to read through.
So I readjust the rubric
Ah,
because
nice.
I readjust I needed the photos.
Student provided, yes, that's great. And
And
with
then
that, and you're using the speed grader for that, do you
yes.
mind opening the rubric again so I can just double check one quick
Sure.
thing? Let's see.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no,
God,
that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
I apologize. I got all excited. You see, you have this effect. You gotta teach me, please teach me Spanish. So
Let's
let's
see. Show
see
rubric.
the show rubric.
Yes. So click on the little pencil for edit. And the only thing I'm going to double eyeball here and check is there. You got it. Use this rubric for assignment grading.
Yeah.
Because that's not the default. And so that's perfect. Because it means when you go into SpeedGrader, you can just click on the boxes and then add your comments.
Your
And
comment.
a lot of folks say, but that doesn't take a long time to do the math. I'm like, but why would you waste time doing the points math when you can dedicate that time to giving feedback?
And here
So
is
that's awesome.
here is their quiz. I put just 7 questions, one per page.
Nice. Hmm.
And are the basic things which I'm really interested. The responding time from my
Right.
email, because sometimes they expect. I had a student and she wrote 27 emails on a day asking in each email if I received her previous email.
Oh
I
my
didn't
God.
even know what her previous email was and what they should do when they start a new assignment,
That's great.
either to jump directly to the assignment or to review and to read all the pages.
All right. All right.
And this one was about the discussions, to make it successful.
Uh-huh. That's nice.
And this was about if the drop student, so they remember, you cannot attend drop admin. Nobody should keep track of your life. Let's be
No.
honest, because you are teaching at 2 colleges. I teach at 3. If we were to keep track of every student, we'll sell our organs for 5 cents and run to Tahiti.
Yes, no, you're right. It's too much. And I do anytime, my chair, poor chair, I love him, but sometimes they're like, hey, Monica, well, you were supposed to drop them or you da da da, and now we got to fill out. I'm like, it's not my responsibility to drop them. I'm like,
Yes.
I nudge them, I ask how they're doing, I ask them to submit work. They don't reply. They know their life.
Yeah,
I don't know their life.
we shouldn't be helicopter instructors.
No. Mm-mm.
Because let's admit, some of those people will be our doctors or lawyers. It's an insane thought.
Yes, it is.
And here I wanted to check with you, since I would leave it at 6 hours because there was a note that if they need more time, up to 9 hours.
This is fine because then the at least is sort of like that's the bare minimum. That's that's how much you need to do. And so that's great. So for students who are faster than 6 hours, that means they're just pretty quick and probably know exactly what to do and are not wasting time with setup or prep or review.
Here I put a video. Shall I put this video? It's a welcome to students to the drawing class from my studio.
Yeah, let me see what page is this? It's on your homepage, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's great because it humanizes your course. This is what they would see if they walked into your studio.
Yeah,
They
so
would see you.
It's a
Yeah, it's
mess,
awesome.
but it's okay. They get it.
No, it's wonderful. It's
But I
wonderful.
do have a quick question, and here is one of my biggest problems about the videos. So the videos which are not mine, like this TED Talk,
Mhm.
I'm always confused about the copyright and what do I write underneath to give credit?
Ah, right. So this video, I think, might be better suited maybe in the orientation module or in an announcement than your homepage, but we
Okay.
can brainstorm that out. In terms of this video, what do I do with videos like this? Normally, I will say, the title of the video, the running time, 20 minutes. What else do I say? I think that's pretty much it. YouTube is great in that it sort of self-discloses the copyright, if you will. So nobody will jump in there and think that you videotaped this lecture, that you went to the auditorium and videotaped the lecture and somehow posted it without their permission, without the speaker's permission. And so I think that you're good. The only thing I would add here is the running time, just so students would know, oh, it's half an hour or it's 10 minutes or TED Talks are supposed to be a specific time, right? 15
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
But
And
with other videos that are, let's say that I found a demo or another idea for a demo, and I have my own demo, but I also show someone else's demo.
I think this is fine. What you're doing here, you include the title, who it is, and the running time. I think that that's all you need to do.
Okay, so I put the name of the video, I put the publisher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I wanted to ask about those because I was so confused. How much do we need to do? Because in a visual class,
Uh-huh.
do I need to write here also the number of the class or this is enough?
That's good. That's what we've seen. So it says Art 130A, basic drawing. That's normally what we see right there at the top. And you have your description. You've got a catch, so something that draws the students in. And then you've got your personal information with what you'll do in the Zoom meetings. So for this course, do you have required Zoom meetings or are those all optional?
No, the only Zoom meetings which I will have will be for office hours.
Okay. So for office hours, they don't need to be in the schedule of classes. So you're good there. Your course is considered a fully online course.
Yes.
So that's great. Like this is how I run my courses as well. I have Zoom meetings. I have them on Thursday night, Saturday mornings, but I am always open to, if students can't meet those times, to arranging something so that we can meet.
Do
But
you?
it's not required. We can have a standard. If you want to just say, this is when my office hours are, you can totally do that. So you don't you don't have to be available to students whenever they want, in other words.
I agree. Otherwise, we'll go crazy.
Yeah,
But
I've been stood up so much by students.
I told them it's lonely,
Yes.
and I need you guys to let me know 24 hours before.
Yes.
I have a quick question. So for other schools on Module 0, I have a page which says office hour Zoom link.
Uh-huh.
That's where I put the Zoom link for them.
Yes, especially if you're not going to use City Zoom.
I'm not because I'm teaching at 3 schools and I got locked out from some of the Zooms.
Yes. So if you're not using the City Zoom, then you can go and eliminate it from the settings
Okay.
so that it doesn't show, because a lot of students from their other classes are used to going there for the Zoom meetings. And so you just don't want those emails that say, I don't see where your office hours are. So I just eliminate that. And instead, I have in the communication portion of your course policies and your syllabus, you can go ahead and say, like I do, I will be using my personal Zoom meeting room, and then you just hyperlink that.
Okay.
So that way, and then I do tell them Thursdays 9:30 p.m., Saturdays 7:30 a.m.
Perfect.
And so, every blue moon, someone will write and say, oh, I can't make those meetings. Then I say, oh, okay, well, when can you meet? And then I'll ask them for 3 days and times. And that's how I try to work that. I don't normally say or by appointment or, because then students do crazy stuff.
Yeah. So,
Pardon me.
gosh, you gotta go. The
Give me
last question, and I will give you a big hug, kidnap you, wash your car, make you tea, whatever you want from me. I will do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are El Jefa. I will do it. So, quick question. Do I send you this link and where do I send it?
Okay. So how about we copy this link and
Okay.
then we jump into the IOTL training course. And we're going to try to see if that one's already available. I think it is. So it's going to be an assignment that asks you for sandbox. It's going to be further down. Let's see, survey, meet and greet. So you'll notice that this is locked, right? Get the 2, but there's a 1.19 sandbox assignment, customize your homepage. So there, if you click on the top right and then scroll down, so that's the one thing we don't tell people, click and then scroll down, right? So here, you'll notice that there you go. So that's where you paste that and you can give comments if you'd like, and then you can submit. And then that's it. One more assignment down. So now you kind of have 2 assignments covered. And then, of course, we give you confetti. And you'll notice on the top right-hand corner that it says submission and submit it and gives you the date stamp. And then any comments I give back will show here, but you can also go to the grades to
Right.
see any. So like right now, if you click on grades, I see there's a 1 there. It's possible that Fred or maybe me, somebody gave you already comments on something.
No, I just did the student class survey.
You got the submission there. All right. And so you can see the weights there, assignments, discussions, quizzes, sandbox assignments. Those are normally like the one you just submitted, a sandbox assignment. And then we have our online course review checkpoints. I don't anticipate you're having any issue with that. And then that's it. And so here you can also see any comments that we give back or feedback. And you probably have your notification set. Did any of my emails that I sent, did you get any of those?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
then that means your notifications are working perfectly well.
I have them here.
Oh, okay, great. That's wonderful. Yes, and you can see I used a picture from when I was in graduate school.
You did not change, Monica. We'll
Thank you.
need to talk in Spanish if you prefer after you teach me.
Okay, we can do that.
What are you? No, seriously, you didn't change. That's a little creepy.
I
Because
prefer my hair the same even.
I assume that picture was 5 years ago.
Oh, I wish. Boy, time is just creeping up on me.
On all of us. Gosh,
I
what
know.
happened to us? We are nice and wonderful, and now we look back.
We look back and we're like, oh my goodness, what happened there?
Can you please kidnap me and send me back in time?
I know, I would love that. But you know what? Online teaching and learning really is like a time machine. I'm a super nerd, so I like Doctor Who and the TARDIS and all of that. And so I think of online teaching as my TARDIS. It's my time machine so that I can reach out to students right away. And I save time by not driving. So I don't have any face-to-face classes in San Francisco anymore. I haven't since before the pandemic. I tell them, no, that's wasting time and my life expectancy, because every moment I was on the freeway and I love driving, I could see that my life was on the line, and it was just taking too much time. So I had back problems, knee problems. And so this way I can participate in colleague things more like trainings and meetings because I don't have to rush from one campus to another. I can just open up my computer, even if it's in my car.
That is my dream because at this point I'm teaching at 3 schools in 3 different cities every day. So
That's crazy.
I taught 10 classes last semester.
Yeah.
3 and 4. And that's why at this point I am so wiped. I took this class because it's the only time when I have the time to do it. But mentally I need a break.
Yeah.
Because every day I was on the road for 4 hours. So thinking I wouldn't mind, during the pandemic, I was teaching the same amount of classes, but the commute saves so much energy.
Yep.
I was like, I don't mind that. Before we leave, I do have a quick question.
Mhm.
Since I will be able to transfer this into my Canvas, into
Uh-huh.
my old Canvas,
Mhm.
and since I do have for my classes, because it's an art class, I have some extra pages on how to take the photos and some, can I add them here?
Absolutely. And you can use the templates. If you scroll, let me see, where would your templates be?
They
Up,
should be up.
maybe? So there, if you can see the sample content page templates, if you have something that just needs a heading, the how to, another heading, and another thing, then this is a great one.
Oh.
I tend to provide a lot more, so I use the accordion template. So all you do is you duplicate this, and
Okay.
then you bring in, meaning that you copy the text version. The only complicated thing about that is having the two screens open at the same time, right? Which is what I do just so I can see what I'm copying and where I'm placing it. But yes, like there. So, and then all you would do is you would change the title of this and you would edit it and place in. Yep.
Gotcha.
That's perfect. And so yes, what we have there in the orientation module, those are the things that have been vetted as required. But clearly every class is a little bit different, needs a little bit more coaching for the students, especially if there's a process, or for folks who use publisher content, sometimes they have to explain how to access the publisher content, or if they need access codes or whatever it is, right? I have pages like that. I have a build your own comic assignment. And
Mhm.
so for that, I need to explain it before I give them the actual assignment. So yes, absolutely.
You know what? I never did use those for accordion one, so I'm not so sure when you edit, how do you do?
So let's see. So when you edit for accordions,
So
let
let's
me see where you
that,
have that.
and I will go to, well, what happened?
I think you closed your canvas,
Dashboard.
your sandbox.
Let's go back. So I never use those. Uh, Very seldom I use them for my classes too, because I have older students and they got really confused. That's why I started to also erase the colors from the text. So it's just white in some boxes eventually. They told me, and they had problems because I use it even for face-to-face, the Canvas, to make sure if they miss class or
Right.
to submit assignment or,
Mhm.
so let's say that I will go here.
All right. And so your design tools will open up, I think, when you hit edit.
Okay.
All right. So one of the things that I do is that I will click on the first accordion. So I scroll down a little bit and I'll just click once where it says instructor tip. All right.
Okay.
Then I will click on the little, do you see on the design tools, the little icon menu has a target symbol in blue?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
there. So you click on that and let me see. So did you click on the instructor tip again? Let's see if that will do that. And then click on the target. Okay, so it doesn't think this is an accordion, I guess. So let's see, here we're going to go and click on Add Advanced Elements.
Where is that thing?
It's on the third to the last element, third to the
Oh,
last
okay.
tab there.
Sorry for that.
All right, and then here click on, yes, accordion tabs. And so here, if, for example, it says instructor tip, instructor note, instructor questions. Mine are not like that. Mine say video recording, audio recording, and something else. So this is where you can change the title of your accordion. So if that's supposed to be, yeah, there you go. There you go. And then let's say that you needed a fourth accordion, then click on that red Add Panel button. And so
Oh,
that will give you the fourth one. That way
uh,
you don't have to fiddle with the HTML and how to copy and paste new accordions or anything. You can just do them right here on this panel. And if for some pages you only need 2 accordions and not 3 or
I just
4,
think-
then yep,
Okay,
just delete them there. Mhm.
perfect. Thank you so much. Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
sure thing,
that's
yeah.
perfect.
Mhm.
Because I tend to have just pages because they just scroll through them
They just scroll them, yeah.
and on all the modules. So for each module I have as I said, so I have bigger chunks. I have line, value, space.
Yeah.
And on each of them, they have the header of the assignment, and
Mhm.
then some objective, a demo, and the assignment.
That's nice.
So
So
that's
it's
what
nice
they have.
chunking, so that they have like the space, but also if most of the content you're providing is sort of in that format, then it creates a rhythm and an expectation for students. So
Yeah.
they're not, in terms of cognitive overload, they're not thinking, oh, I don't know what's going to happen next. They kind of think, I'm probably going to have content that teaches me how to do the next step.
That's why I wanted to touch bases with you and to make sure that, because I'm aware that when I teach art history, it's totally different, the format. And each module has, it's only by a chapter. Renaissance, here it is. And Baroque, here it is. But just to touch bases.
Yep.
Mónica,
Right.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hi, you're very welcome. And
Gracias.
yes, feel free to
Gracias por
reach out
todo.
later. Yeah, if there's something you want to brainstorm later, it's the same thing. You can just go ahead and use a Canvas inbox and give me 3 days and times,
Okay,
and we can try to touch base again.
I don't want to abuse. Thank you so much. Have a lovely afternoon.
Oh, you too. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.